As promised, I'm back with my tutorial series. Like I said, a little bit later than I intended. It's been a busy couple days, but nonetheless, here we are. I dropped a couple quick tutorials on some new things added to the game or updated to the game about a day ago. Now I'm about to start dropping my adjustments tutorials and how to do certain things, how to read defense, all of that. So we're going to go ahead and start off with how to make quick adjustments in the secondary. I did this last year. I've done it in prior years for Madden, but again, I'm doing it again for those who haven't come across my channel or haven't come across these kinds of tutorials in the past. And also in the event certain things have changed, which they have. They added a couple new tricks and tactics you can use for your secondary and along the defense period. So you'll see those along my other adjustments videos for different positions. But we're going to go ahead and get into the secondary adjustments in College Football 26. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick cover 4 quarters. We're gonna pick a random play on offense. So first and foremost, before you do anything, if you pull and hold R trigger, it'll show the play art. If you didn't know that, there are some people out there that don't know these things, but if you didn't know that, if you pull and hold the right trigger on PlayStation or Xbox, well, PlayStation, it would be R2, Xbox, it would be right trigger. It will show you the play art. Now, if you pull and hold left trigger or L2 on PlayStation, it'll bring up this screen, which will, for one, show you what everybody looks like on the field without the play art, but it also gives you a couple options on the screen. So if you hit the left stick left, you'll see the linebacker and DB abilities. Flick that left stick down, you will see the offensive line's abilities. If you flick it up, you will see the defensive line's abilities, and then if you flick that left stick right, you will see the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end abilities. And if you use the right stick, if you flick the right stick left, it will show you the blocking assignments. If you flick the right stick down, it will show you the wear and tear. And if you flick the right stick to the right, it will show you the matchups. And if you flick the right stick up, it will show you the composure. Now that could have been shown in my how to make quick adjustments for the entire defense video, but I went ahead and got it out the way now to show you what that looks like. So now let's get straight into how to make quick adjustments with your secondary. So in order to make quick adjustments with your secondary, the first thing you want to do is you want to either press Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation. Once you do that, it will show you the coverage adjustments, which will be the adjustments for your secondary. Now you see you got a couple options here. You have your left stick options, and then you have your right stick options. With the left stick, you have the ability to show cover 2, show cover 3, press, give cushion. And then with the right stick, you have the ability to shade inside, shade outside, shade underneath, shade over top. Then you also have A, which is for individual adjustments, and Y, which is for quick adjustments. Now, I'll go a little bit more in depth with that in just a minute because A is where some of the new features are added to. But I'm just going to go ahead and break down the purpose and reasoning for some of these other basic adjustments right here. So let's take a look at our play. Right now, we are in a cover 4 match. So being in a cover 4 match, you see everybody's in coverage and the entire defensive line is rushing the quarterback. So starting with show cover 2. So right now you can see cover 4, which again, I will break this down more in depth when I do my how to read a defense tutorial. But if you flick the left stick left, you see the defense will align in more of a position to look like they're playing a cover 2. So that's what show 2 does. So if you got the idea for that concept of show 2 when you're in a cover 4, it would show a cover 2, then you would understand that if you flick the left stick right for show 3, it will give the appearance of a cover 3 defense, although you are still in a cover 4. So your opponent will think that you're in a cover 3, but in all actuality, you're still in a cover 4 defense. So let's reset again and bring up our adjustments again. So now, giving cushion would be in the event that you're playing an opponent who's just bombing you over the top and you don't want to take any chances, so you're going to want to back off everybody in your secondary. Well, then you would flick the left stick up and everybody that's in your secondary will back off. Now, if you want to press, if they're doing underneath, or if you just want to jam and knock the receivers off course a little bit, if you want to do that, you simply press Y and flick the left stick down, and they will come up, they will press, they will jam. etc. Now let's discuss shading tactics. You have 4 different options. You have over the top, you have underneath, you have inside, you have outside. It's pretty self-explanatory, honestly, but for those of you who don't understand it, I'll go ahead and break it down for you. So if you're playing an opponent who's beating you over the top, just like I discussed a second ago with giving cushion, and you don't want to give cushion because you fear the underneath stuff, you can go ahead and stay in position where you're at, or you can even bring your guys up even closer and flick the right stick up to shade over the top, and the secondary won't allow anything to get over the top of them. Now, if your opponent is beating you underneath, then you could flick that right stick down and they'll guard extra heavy against underneath routes. And then also shading inside and outside. If they're getting you on inside routes, then shade inside. If they're getting you on outside routes, you shade outside. But there's a caveat to that. Whatever you shade to, that leaves you more susceptible to the opposite. So if you shade over the top, they're basically going to leave that underneath stuff wide open. And same thing with underneath. If you shade underneath, you're going to leave over the top wide open. Inside, you'll leave the boundaries open. Outside, you'll leave the inside open, etc., etc. Now, some other features on here as well. You can also choose to show blitz with your secondary by clicking right bumper or R1 on PlayStation, which will look like this. So it'll bring all of them up. They'll look like they're all blitzing, but in all actuality, they're not. Now, you also have the option to click left bumper or L1 on PlayStation to make your DBs guard to the sticks. So what does that mean? That means whatever the position marker is for the first down, your DBs will guard to that position. So they'll specifically target, if it's like 3rd and 7 and your opponent is running a play or routes specifically just to get the first down marker, because they can make hot route adjustments and they can stem routes. So say they stem a comeback route or they stem a hitch route right at 7 yards. Well, you could tell your secondary by pressing Y and then LB to guard to the sticks. So they'll make sure that they guard up until that point. So some other adjustments, pressing A for individual. This one is huge because this is where some of the new features come into play. So say we want to target Ryan Williams. So now we have route commit, which is the new feature, and then you have the coverage. Coverage, this has been there before where you could shade left, shade right, press, or back off with your DB. So that's always been there. So if I want to back off of Ryan Williams, I could just flick that right stick up. But let's say we go back to that option again, say I want to press Ryan Williams. Well, then I'm going to flick that right stick down and you see the DB's in position to press Ryan Williams. So let's get into these route commit options. You have outside route commit and then you have inside route commit. If you flick the left stick to the left, he'll commit to the outside route. But if you flick the left stick to the right, he'll commit to the inside route. But just like those other features with shading over the top and underneath, if you do one, you leave yourself open to penalty of the other. So if we shade to the outside and he doesn't go outside and he goes inside, you're going to leave your cornerback open to get beat by that wide receiver on an inside route. And that's how you perform the route commit features. So now let's get into the actual quick adjustment option, which is pressing Y after you press Y or triangle on PlayStation to bring up the coverage assignments. You're going to press Y and then it'll ask you which DB you want to make these adjustments with. Right now, we're going to go with Gibson. So with the left stick, you have flicking the left stick up will cover the outside third. Flicking the left stick down will cover the cloud flat. Flicking the left stick left will cover the hard flat. Flicking the left stick right will cover soft squat. And then with the right stick, if you flick it up, it will put them in man coverage on a receiver of your choosing on the offense. If you flick the right stick down, it will put him on a blitz. If you flick the right stick left, it will put him on an outside quarter. If you flick the right stick right, it will put him on a deep half. So before I get into like the custom zones, I'm gonna show you what it's like to send them in man coverage. So say we want to send him in man coverage, we flick that right stick up. It's gonna ask who do you want him to guard man wise. So we're gonna press X, and now once you see it, now he's not covering that deep zone. He's specifically covering Ryan Williams. So now if you go back to it, making those quick adjustments, picking Gibson again, say we want to put him on a outside third, we're going to flick that left stick up. So now you can see he's basically back in his deep zone assignment. So let's go back to it again. Let's say we want to blitz him. We're going to flick the right stick down. Now you see he's in a blitz angle, and so on and so forth. It's pretty self-explanatory, like I said. So we'll go ahead and put Gibson back into a deep zone as he was before. So now let's press Y and Y again to bring up those adjustments. Click on Gibson, and we're going to do the custom zone. So you click and hold the left bumper or L1 on PlayStation, and just like stemming routes on offense, all you have to do is move down or up, and you can see the distance they cover on those zones changes. You can have them cover all the way up to the line of scrimmage and as far back as the end zone or wherever you want that DB to go. So it'll be intriguing to see what people end up doing with those custom zones and how they play defense this year. But that's pretty much the basis of making quick adjustments with the entire secondary. So again, you press Y to bring up your coverage adjustments, and then you have your left stick options, which is give cushion, show 2, show 3, press. You have your right stick for shading, which is shade over the top, shade underneath, shade inside, shade outside, etc. Then you have your individual options by pressing A, which you can also perform your route commit options with for that individual DB. And then you also have your quick adjustment option by pressing Y, which gives you the option to perform a custom zone with a specific DB. Then I showed you the show blitz. I also showed you the ability to guard at the sticks. So that's how you make quick adjustments with the entire secondary in college football 26. Stay tuned. I'm gonna have more of these quick adjustment videos coming soon for linebackers, defensive line, offensive quick adjustments, how to block, how to read defense. We're bringing all that. We're bringing everything that I did last year. We're bringing it back again this year with all the new updates and tricks and tips that they've added to the game. So if you're here for the first time or you're returning and you haven't liked or subscribed already, please do so. Click that notification tab so you can stay up to speed with more college football 26 tutorials going forward. Again, I appreciate you all for tuning in. That's been my time. Till next time.